Welcome to our deep dive. Today, we're looking at a story that it really captures this incredible mix of raw human instinct and, well, meticulous preparation.
Absolutely. It's quite something. We're talking about a really frightening incident off the Florida coast. A cruise ship involved.
But with an outcome that honestly feels miraculous.
Yeah, and this deep dive, it isn't just about retelling the story. We want to get into why things happened the way they did,
Okay.
that immediate human response, but also the trained crew, the procedures, what it all tells us about handling emergencies when everything's on the line.
Right. So let's set the scene. Picture it. This was just last Sunday.
hmm
The Disney Dream cruise ship, a massive vessel coming back from the Bahamas.
Heading towards Fort Lauderdale, pretty standard trip.
Until it wasn't. In just a split second, a young girl, a daughter, falls overboard.
Ugh, just imagine that. The sheer panic.
Stomach dropping is right. But then, the father's reaction.
This is what's really remarkable. Witnesses said the moment she went in, he just reacted. No hesitation.
He jumped in after her.
Jumped right in. Without a second thought, as they described it. It's that primal instinct, maybe. Especially
Yeah.
for a parent.
Bypassing everything else, just
Yeah.
pure reaction.
Exactly. And then think about it. He's in the open ocean, treading water for more than 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Wow, watching this huge ship just moving away initially. Him and his daughter just out there, incredibly vulnerable.
That kind of courage is just astounding. But what about on the ship? What happens on the Disney Dream in those first few seconds? How does a giant ship even start to deal with something like that?
Well, that's where the training, that muscle memory really has to kick in. Instantly, it sounds like the man overboard protocol started.
And not just a general alarm, but specific for this.
Right. Highly specific. It triggers a whole sequence across different departments. An emergency alert goes off ship-wide.
Okay.
Crew members immediately start throwing life preservers towards them. And crucially, they begin launching a rescue boat.
I remember reading a passenger, Laura Amador. She told CBS News Miami. She said something like, the ship was moving so quickly, the people became tiny dots in the sea, and then you lost sight of them. Really paints a picture of the challenge.
It absolutely does. It highlights how fast things can change out there. And that brings us to the captain's role.
A huge decision point, I imagine.
Totally critical. Amidst all that, the captain has to make a call. He decided to turn the ship around and deployed a tender boat.
Okay, a tender boat.
Yep.
That's smaller,
Yeah.
right? More agile.
Exactly. Smaller, faster to deploy, designed for exactly this kind of open water retrieval. That decision, that maneuver was probably key.
Bridging that gap between the incident and getting help there.
Those minutes are golden. It really makes you think about how effective the training is, when a massive ship needs to react so precisely, so quickly.
And the outcome, thankfully. The best possible news.
Both father and daughter were rescued, brought safely back onto the ship.
Amazing. Disney Cruise Line mentioned later, didn't they, that their crews are well-trained for emergencies like this.
They did. And, this incident, it really shows that training wasn't just like a checklist item. It was a system ready to function under extreme pressure.
Yeah, you can really see it in action here.
And if we kind of zoom out, look at the bigger picture, this rescue, it's more than just one family's story, right?
How so?
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it,
Yeah.
about, well, the lengths people will go to for loved ones, that raw instinct,
Definitely.
but also just how vital all those safety measures are at sea. It shows that while, individual courage is incredible, it often relies on this background structure.
The quiet work of protocols and training.
Exactly. That's the infrastructure that allows these miracles to actually happen sometimes.
So what's the takeaway here for
Yeah.
you listening? I think this story is just this extraordinary blend, isn't it? Spontaneous, incredible courage from a parent.
Right. That instant reaction.
Meeting this diligent, planned preparation from an organization. It shows that even in the absolute worst moments, that combination can make all the difference.
Yeah. And it leaves us with a thought, maybe. How do we reconcile the unpredictable, the chaos of emergencies, with this absolute need to be prepared for things that seem, well, almost impossible? Because this story really underlines how that quiet background work, safety drills, the protocols, constantly practiced, how vital that becomes. It's there, ready, often unseen, until the moment it turns potential tragedy into a story like this one.
Yeah.
A story of survival.